Pay obeisance to Ganesh ji. Gajananam bhutaganadisevitam kapitajambhu phalacharubhakshitam Umasutam shokavinashikarakam Namami Vighaneshwara pada pankajam Om Vakratundaya Hum Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. To the Divine Mother, Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Trayambike Gauri Narayani Namostute Om Aim Hrim Klim Chamundaye Viche Shankar Bhagwan Om Nagendra Haraya Trilochanaya Bhasmangaragaya Maheshwaraya Nityaya Shuddhaya Digambaraya Tasmai Nakaraya Namaha Shivaya Har Nama Parvati Pataye Har 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 Mahadev. To our Gurus, Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurur Sakshat Para Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Shri Guru Maharaj Ki Jai. Krishna ji. Mukam karoti vachalam pangulanghayate girim yat kripatamaham vande paramanandamadhavam. Om Klim Krishnaya Namaha. Ramaya Ramachandraya Vedase Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaye Pataye Namaha. Om Ram Ramaya Namaha. Manojavam Maratulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Buddhatmatam Vanararyukhyam Mukhyam Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadhe. Manojavam Maratulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanarayukhyam Mukhyam Shri Ramadutam Sharanam Prapadhe. Om Ham Hanumate Namaha. प्रेम से बोलो श्री सर्वदेव सर्वदेवी माता की जय. गणपति स्वामी. चांद.
गणपति गणेश को, गणपति गणेश को, उमापति महेश को मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है. गणपति गणेश को, गणपति गणेश को, उमापति महेश को मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है. शंकर भोले बाबा को, शंकर भोले बाबा को, डमरू बजाने वाले को मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है. शंकर भोले बाबा को, शंकर भोले बाबा को, डमरू बजाने वाले को मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। अंजनी के पुत्र को, अंजनी के पुत्र को, राम जी के दूत को, मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। अंजनी के पुत्र को, अंजनी के पुत्र को, राम जी के दूत को, मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। सियापति राम को, सियापति राम को, राधे जी की शाम को, मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। सियापति राम को, सियापति राम को, राधा जी की शाम को, मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती, दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती, ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश जी, मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती, दुर्गा लक्ष्मी सरस्वती, ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश जी, मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। गणपति गणेश को, गणपति गणेश को, उमापति महेश को, मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। गणपति गणेश को, गणपति गणेश को, उमापति महेश को, मेरा ही प्रणाम है, मेरा ही प्रणाम है। गणपति, हे गणपति, हे गणपति, जय जय गणपति। हे गणपति, 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 जय जय गणपति। हे गणपति, हे गणपति, हे गणपति, जय जय गणपति।
प्रेम से बोलो श्री गणेश भगवान की जय। So let us all now join together in singing the Shivji Chalisa as we begin focusing our mind and our heart on Shivji Bhagwan in preparation for the 18th of February.
जय गणेश गिरिजा सुवन, मंगल मूल सुजान, कहत अयोध्या दास तुम, देहु अभय वरदान। हर हर जय शंकर, ओम हर हर, हर हर जय शंकर, ओम हर हर। जय गिरिजापति दीन दयाला, सदा करत संतन प्रतिपाला। बाल चंद्रमा सोहतनी के, शूर सो हठ छवि भारी करत सदा शत्रुन जयकारी नंदी गणेश सोहे तह कैसे सागर मध्य कमल है जैसे कार्तिक श्याम और गणराओ या छवि को कही जात न काहू देवन जब ही जाय पुकारा तब ही मुख प्रभु आप निवारा किया उपद्रव तारक भारी देवन सब मिली तुम्हारी दुहारी सडानन आप पठायो लवनी मेष महामारी गिरायो आप जलंधर असुर संहारा सुयश तुम्हारा विदित संसारा हर हर जय शंकर ओम हर 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 जय शंकर ओम हर हर त्रिपुरासुर संयोध मजाई सब ही कृपा कर लीन बचाई किया तपहि भागीरथ भाई पूर्व प्रतिज्ञाता सुपुरारी दान महान तुम सब कोई नाही सेवक सुखी करत सदाई वेद नाम महिमा तब गाई अखत अनादि भेद नहीं पाई प्रगट मुधि माधन ज्वाला जरत सुरासुर भय विहारा कीन दया तह करि सहाई नीलकंठ तब नाम कहाई पूजन रामचंद्र जब कीन्हा जीत के लंक विभीषण दीन्हा सहस कमल में हो रहे धारी दीन परीक्षा तब ही पुरारी हर हर जय शंकर चूक हमारी, शंकर हो संकट के नाशन, विघ्न विनाशन मंगल कारण, योगी यति मुनि ध्यान लगावे, शारद नारद शीश नवावे। नमो नमो जय नमो शिवाय, सुर ब्रह्मादिक पार न पाया, जो यहाँ पात करे बदलाई, तावर हो जय शंभु सहाई। दुनिया जो कोई हो अधिकारी, पाठ करे सो पावन हारी। भूतहीन कर इच्छा कोई, निश्चय शिव प्रसाद नहीं होई। हर हर जय शंकर, ओम हर हर, हर हर जय शंकर, ओम हर हर। पंडित योदशि जो कोई लावे, ध्यान पूर्वक होम करावे। त्रयोदशी व्रत करे हमेशा, तन नहीं ताके रहे कलेशा। धूप दीप नैवेद्य चढ़ावे, शंकर सन्मुख पाठ सुनावे। जन्म जन्म की पाप नसावे, पंचवास शिवपुर में पावे। कहत अयोध्या आस तुम्हारी, जानी सकल दुख हरहु हमारी। जय 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 त्रिपुरारी, आए हैं हम शरण तुम्हारी। हर हर जय शंकर, ओम हर हर, हर हर जय शंकर, ओम हर हर, हर हर जय शंकर, ओम हर हर। नित्य नेम करि प्रातहि, पाठ करे चालीस। तुम मेरी मानो कामना, पूर्ण करो जगदीश। मत्सर च्युति हेमंत ऋतु, संवत 64 जान। स्तुति चालीसा शिव ही, पूर्ण कीन कल्याण।
प्रेम से बोलो श्री उमापति महादेव की जय। Once again, as we've joined it together, we've come together, we would be joining in the Gita Dhyanam. We're moving shlok by shlok in that Dhyanam. We've reached to the 5th shlok. So how we will do it today is revise the first 4 slowly, and then we will do the 5th, which is very well known by each one of you. And then we will continue to read from the Bhagavad Gita as we have done before. So let us join together. I was told that I'm singing too high, so I'll go down. Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari. Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari. Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari. Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari. Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari. Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari. Govinda Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari. Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari. Govinda Jaya Jaya पाठाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता. Repeat. पाठाय
प्रतिबोधितां भगवता
नारायणेन स्वयं
नारायणेन स्वयं
व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना. व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना. मध्ये महाभारतं
मध्ये महाभारतम्
अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवती
अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवती
अष्टादशाध्यायिनी
अष्टादशाध्यायिनी
अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि. अम्ब
त्वामनुसन्धामि
भगवद्गीते भवेद्वेषिणी. भगवद्गीते नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे. I don't think I can keep it. Let's do it without. नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे.
नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे
फूलारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्रः.
फूलारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्रः
येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः.
येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः
प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः.
प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः
The third. प्रपन्नपारिजाताय
प्रपन्नपारिजाताय
स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये
स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये
ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय
ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय
गीता गीतामृत दुहे नमः
गीतामृतदुहे नमः
सर्व उपनिषदो गावो
सर्व उपनिषदो गावो
दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः
दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः
पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता
पार्थो वत्स सुधीर्भोक्ता
दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्
दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्.
This one we can sing along. Number 5, it's very easy. Vasudeva Sutam Devam
कंसचाणूरमर्दनं
Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam
वन्दे जगद्गुरु
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya
गोपाल जय जय
Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopal Jaya Jaya
गोविन्द जय जय गोपाल जय जय
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
राधा रमण हरि गोविन्द जय जय
Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya
राधा रमण हरि गोविन्द जय जय
प्रेम से बोलो श्री गोविंद कृष्ण भगवान की जय Sitaram everybody once again. Please take your Bhagavad Gita, bow and open first chapter as we have done before. And we have reached verse number anybody remembers? Verse number 30. We had ended last time we had done verse number 30. So we will start together number 31 together reading. And as I've said before, remember we are just reading. To get a fuller understanding, you have the opportunity to do so by joining our class with Anilji. We needed confirmation of the dates. We still have them. Anilji? Right, so this Wednesday at 7 p.m., continuing thereafter, every other Wednesday, 7 p.m., it's by Zoom, is it? By Zoom, so we can get you the link. So we're at verse number 31, I'm sorry. But just to get you back into the context, let's go back to 30 and we'll read together from 30. We begin. The bow, Gandiv, slips from my hand, and my skin too burns all over. My mind is whirling as it were, and I can no longer hold myself steady. And Keshav, I see such omens of evil, nor do I see any good in killing my kinsmen in battle. Krishna, I do not covet victory, nor kingdom, nor pleasures. Govinda, of what use will kingdom or luxuries or even life be to us? Those very persons for whose sake we covet the kingdom, luxuries and pleasures, teachers, uncles, sons and nephews, and even so grand-uncles and great-grand-uncles, maternal uncles, fathers-in-law, grandnephews, brothers-in-law, and other relations are here arrayed on the battlefield, staking their lives and wealth. O slayer of Madhu, I do not want to kill them, even though they slay me, even for the sovereignty over the three worlds. How much the less for the kingdom here on earth. Krishna,
by killing even these deserados, sin will surely
Therefore, Krishna, it does not behove us to kill our relations, the sons of Dhritarashtra. For how can we be happy after killing our own kinsmen? Even though these people, with their mind blinded by greed, perceive no evil in destroying their own race and no sin in treason to friends, why should not we, O Krishna, who see clearly the sin accruing from the destruction of one's family, think of desisting from committing this foul deed? Govinda bolo Hari Gopal bolo, Govinda bolo Hari Gopal bolo, Radha Ramana Hari Govinda bolo, Radha Ramana Hari Govinda bolo, Govinda bolo Hari Gopal bolo, Govinda bolo Hari Gopal bolo, Radha Ramana Hari Govinda 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 bolo. Prem se bol Shri Govinda Krishna Bhagavan ki. Having gone through now, we've reached shlok number 39. We will continue with 40 next week. We should be able to finish off chapter 1, and you would have done very well. As a matter of fact, let's confirm how many more do we have for that. We should have just about 3. Hold on. No, we have more than 3. We have till 7. Why don't we finish it off today? Are you okay with that? Everybody's scared to say no, we're not okay with it. All right, so let's go number 40. So we'll finish chapter 1 in this month of January. Age-long family traditions disappear. This is verse number 40. Age-long family traditions disappear with the destruction of a family, and virtue having been lost, vice takes hold of the entire race. With the preponderance of vice, Krishna, the women of the family, become corrupt, and with the corruption of women, O descendant of Vrishni, there ensues an intermixture of castes. Progeny due to promiscuity damns the destroyers of the race as well as the race itself. Deprived of the offerings of rice and water, that is the Shrad Tarpan, the mains of their race also fall. Through these evils, bringing about an intermixture of castes, the age-long caste traditions and family customs of the killers of kinsmen get extinct. Krishna, we hear that men who have lost their family traditions dwell in hell for an indefinite period of time. Oh, what a pity! Though possessed of intelligence, we have set our mind on the commission of a great sin, that, due to lust for throne and enjoyment, we are intent on killing our own kinsmen. It would be better for me if the sons of Dhritarashtra, armed with weapons, kill me in battle while I am unarmed and unresisting. Sanjaya said, Arjun, whose mind was agitated by grief on the battlefield, having spoken thus, and having cast aside his bow and arrows, sank into the hinder part of his chariot. Thus, in the Upanishad sung by the Lord, the science of Brahma, the scripture of Yoga, the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjun, ends the first chapter entitled The Yoga of Dejection of Arjun. Prem se bolo Shri Govinda Krishna Bhagavan ki. Can we have a ghanti just ring just for a moment there? Prem se bolo Shri Govinda Krishna Bhagavan ki. So we've completed chapter 1. Next week we will continue with chapter 2. Chapter 2 is a longer chapter, so we may take more than February to complete it, since February itself is a shorter month. But we will move along. Now, I would ask us all to sit up. One question that arises before we do our meditation is this: what if I like Durga Mata? What if I like Shivji Bhagwan? What if I prefer either of these, or Hanumanji? Because we focus on Krishnji when we do this. I want you to understand that what we do with Krishnji in this meditation applies across the board to each one of them. So if instead we would like to focus on Durga Mata, Saraswati Mata, Lakshmi Mata, Hanumanji, Shankar Bhagwan, Ganeshji, you are free to fix your focus on those forms. The methodology will be the same, the focus will be the same, and we will meditate the same way. So we close our eyes. I miss my violin player today, Prashant. We close our eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath in and out, and in and out, and in and out. And now we focus on that form which most appeals to us. I will take us to Krishna Bhagwan, but to others you are free to look at any form that appeals to you. We look at their feet, beautiful feet, feet that when they touch the ground all around becomes blessed. And we move our gaze up to their clothing, and we focus on each pleat in that clothing, whether it's the dhoti, whether it is the sari. We focus on Bhagwan. Up the chest and to the beautiful hands. Krishnaji is holding that beautiful Bansuri. Mataji has all of these different weapons in her hand for our protection. Shankar Bhagwan with his Trishul. We come up to the face, the smile, the eyes. Feast for a moment in the blessing that comes from such love emanating from Bhagwan. The smile which removes all of our difficulties and troubles and lets us know that we are loved, we are safe, we are the children of God. And we look at the crown, beautifully resplendent, shining in our hearts and our minds, to show that God is the King of our heart and our domain. And we come back down, look at the face and the eyes once again. The hands holding the Bansuri, the beautiful chest, down to the dhoti and back to the feet. And we rest a moment at those feet. And we breathe a moment at those feet. And we pray for a moment at those feet. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. We open our eyes, we look at Bhagwan, and we feel peace. We feel all difficulties are put aside. We feel love. Prem se bol Shri Govinda Krishna Bhagwan ki Jai. Now we will invite the children to go across to your classes. Shams, you go to your class, you'll come back, okay? Very good. When you come back, we'll sing our bhajan, right? Okay. So the children, we have children's class today. It is important for us, as I mentioned last week, for the children also to sit with us when we do meditation, so that they will too understand the need to be silent, the need to be prayerful, the need to be thoughtful, and to think. This morning, I was greeted to bhajans from Brian Lara or wherever it was. And, you know, I thought, as I have expressed before, the motivation for people to get up and go somewhere 12 o'clock in the night or 1 o'clock in the morning and wait till 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it is. And sometimes you tell the same people, come Mandir for 8:30, you can't get up on a Sunday. But motivation is a thing. If we get the right motivation to do anything, we can do anything. If I say to you, recite your Bhagavad Gita every day and do your meditation, we will think, well, okay, I'm not sure if I can do it. I will try my best. And if I do it one day out of the week, maybe at least I've done something. But we eat every day, 3 times a day, sometimes people more than that. We drink every day, some water or whatever it might be. For children who go to school, you go to school 5 times a week. Whether you want to or you don't want to, you're going to school. And there's the motivation to do that, that if I don't go to school, I will not do well. Son, put down the phone. Those of us who have phones out, put your phones down, put it away. We're getting a bag so we can put it aside, unless you're following along. Follow what we are saying today, because this is an important conversation I want to have with us today. This is the conversation. Why are we spending the time, those few minutes, to meditate as we do that? I looked at different Upanishads, and what it tells you is that before creation, there was silence. And all that existed was truth. Sat Chit Anand, that was God. So before there was any sort of activity and world and universe and any creation, there was silence. And we repeat that when we do our Sandhya. Ritam cha satyam cha abhidhya tapaso adhya ajayata. It tells us that out of that silence came chaos, day and night. Creation began, but it starts from silence. And that's where we have started from. From that very important aspect of our living, which is the Paramatma, that divine being. We became sparks. And in that silence, you are, as I've said before, who you truly are. And I want you to think about it. Unless you're a narcissistic, unless you're a sociopath, it's difficult to lie to yourself when you are by yourself. And it is difficult to to lie to yourself about yourself when you sit in front of God quietly. And that is when you get to understand who you are. We know about the different types of consciousness: waking, sleeping, waking, dream, sleep. Turiya, the fourth, but I won't go into that. Waking, we exist. We think we are, when we are young, we think, I know what I want to do, I want to be whatever it might be. And we sit down and we're watching a movie and they're probably eating pizza and drinking a Coke, and we feel, I feel to eat pizza and I feel to drink a Coke. And we think we have independent thought, but placement in movies and TV shows now is a big thing. People pay millions of dollars for placement of their products in a movie. And we think, yes, I feel that I have independent thought. I only like this particular type of food, but hey, I feel to eat pizza now. Why? Because I've just seen it, the subliminal messages. And it happens in everything. We think we have free thought. But if our friends listen to this music and I listen to Rag Bairagi instead, how would I do? I can't get involved in that conversation. So I have to now follow instead what young brother and them singing. And it doesn't matter if it's nonsense. It really doesn't. Because even though we think we have independent thought, if we do not fit into the Zessa society when we are young, then, we feel that we are outcasts, we can't exist. So that is waking. We are not being true to ourselves, we are being influenced by everything. We go to sleep and we start to dream, and in the dreams, we begin to do things that we couldn't do ever in our life. In a split second, we reach to Scotland or wherever it might be, and you're on the plains and you're looking around and you're doing so many things. And so that too is not reality, that too is not truth. And only time we know truth is when we sit to meditate in front of God. And in the Upanishads it tells us, Supreme Being has no form. We are parts of that Supreme Being and we are here. How do we meditate and focus and get to that place? God has put it such that I will give you a form to hold your hand and take you to me. So that when you close your eyes, you can look and see something. Something that you can identify with. Krishnaji, beautiful, loving, cowherd, blowing his bansuri. We hear the music. Madhu Sudhana Krishna Murari. When we hear the songs, we think of peace, we think of love, we think of God. And our mind then becomes channeled differently. And the relevance of this is that I want to share, we talk about these things, but I need to share. I did a search today about meditation and science. And you would be surprised, or maybe not, at the amount of information and research that has been done into meditation. And we have had so many challenges in TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and whatever it might be. I want to issue you today a challenge. The optimal time, they have done in research, is 13 minutes to be spent in meditation. 13 minutes. The optimal period for meditation from a number of different researches is 8 weeks. So if I say to you in 8 weeks, you can become less stressed, you can become less depressed, you can become less filled with anxiety, you could feel more peaceful. All you need to do is spend 13 minutes a day You choose the time. And keep that for 8 weeks. I want us to take that challenge today. And a little bit more. So it takes us, let us say, from today, not tomorrow, from today, 13 minutes a day. Doing what we just did not too long ago. And we keep it until Shri Ram Navami. What date is Shri Ram Navami? The 30th of March. Isn't it, Mandirji? Yeah, 30th of March. That's a holiday. God gave you a holiday to come Mandir for Shri Ram Navami. So keep it from today. I wouldn't embarrass anyone and say, who's going to keep that challenge with me? Should I do it? I won't do that. Because some may feel, I don't really feel like doing that. I don't want to make myself better. I want to make myself worse. Uddharena na atmanam visadate. Lift yourself by your own self. Chapter 6. We will reach to chapter 6. You will see it for yourself. You will read it and frame it. So, that challenge, I am extending it not only to those of us who are personally here, but those of us who are looking on Facebook. Keep it until Shri Ram Navami. Why? Let me tell you the science. You know, when we hear science, we start to think, okay, well, religion doesn't do it for me. Spirituality doesn't do it for me. Let me hear what the scientists have to say. This is one done in 2016. I'll give you the reference. 8-week mindfulness-based stress reduction induces brain changes similar to traditional long-term meditation practice, a systematic review. That's the paper. If you have the membership, you could download the entire PDF research and you will see what they did and how they did it. The results: the prefrontal cortex, the cingulate cortex, the insula, and the hippocampus showed increased activity, connectivity, and volume in stressed, anxious, and healthy participants. Additionally, the amygdala showed decreased functional activity, improved functional connectivity with the prefrontal cortex, and earlier deactivation after exposure to emotional stimuli. It's all right, we like to hear these words because it means there's something happening. Prefrontal cortex, cingulate cortex, insular hippocampus. Hippocampus deals with your memory. So if I say, if you keep this challenge with me, you're going to get a better memory and do better in school and do better in work and other things, that seems like a plus. The prefrontal cortex, cingulate cortex, insula, what is it dealing with? Your anxiety, your emotional state, your consciousness. And the amygdala deals with your emotions. Why does that decrease? Because you are decreasing the effect on your emotional responses to the effect that you're beginning to control yourself better. So this is the scientific test that is done. And I will tell you something that amazed me. This was referenced in 73 other studies positively. It was cited by 147 other people who were studying it. They were not Hindu people, all of them. These researchers were actually Dutch people at a university in Holland. So they are saying to us, who already practice meditation, that what you're doing is correct. If you want to rewire your brain, remap your thoughts, neuroplasticity, is that what it's called, Søren? Neuroplasticity, the ability now of your brain to adapt to all of these things that are happening, all of your experiences, and being able to deal with the situation that you are having. Let's break it down, what it means. If I'm feeling unhappy and stressed, what do I do? 13 minutes. If you spend that same 13 minutes on Facebook, what's going to happen? More stress. This one robbed that one killed this one, that's whatever it might be. If you spend that same 13 minutes on any other social media, more stress. If you take that 13 minutes and invest it in yourself, rather than invest it in Meta and all these other people's pockets, invest it in your own brain and pocket, wouldn't that be a good investment? If I tell you that you will get 25% increase in 8 weeks, what would you do? An increase of 25% increase in your IQ, intelligence quota, in 8 weeks. If you do 13 minutes a day for 8 weeks, what would you do? What would your choice be? Would your choice be to say, well, I don't need 25, I'm good enough as I go in? Or would you say, I have a chance to deal with Alzheimer's disease, to deal with all of these other brain and dementia matters that arise later on, by stimulating the brain in different way and getting it to spark in different manners, by doing 13 minutes at least a day. And all we asking for is until Sri Ram Navami. Wouldn't you do it? Now if I ask how many people want to put up their hands, you might see more people might want to put up their hands. I still wouldn't do it. Because when you make a commitment, you have to keep it. If you are having difficulties, let me tell you some of the things that happens when you start this, as you would have been doing here for the last few Sundays. When you close your eyes, all kind of thoughts come. They flood you from all how to yourself. Good thoughts, bad thoughts. All sorts of thoughts. But you're in the right place to channel those thoughts. Because you don't have other people telling you how to think. You have yourself telling yourself, this is what my experience is. How do I help myself? 13 minutes a day. How many hours of the day we have? 24 hours. How many minutes is that? Somebody would have calculated it. Can we not squeeze 13 minutes a day for your own self? We start here with just a few 5 minutes, but you need to do the 13. And then we progress. When we walk, we will start to see things. Instead of, for example, walking and watching the phone and running ourselves into a pole or post or something like that, or running into traffic, watch and see what is happening around. There are trees. Oh, I didn't notice that branch before. I didn't notice that dog was running and chasing me before. Is now behind the fence. That is called mindfulness walking. That is meditation in itself. So when you walk in the park, for example, let's say you go to Palmy's pasture, and instead of drowning out everything with your headphones, you allow everything to come in and you learn to channel your brain. That tree, look at the green, look at the difference in green as I'm walking and I'm breathing. That is mindfulness meditation. In everything that you do, mindfulness, being aware, meditation. And then when we choose our time, whether it is first thing in the morning, or if we can't find the time for in the morning because whatever, in the evening, it's a great way. Tell me if it's not true that when we finished meditation today, you immediately felt a sense of peace and you were not thinking about other difficulties that we walked into the Mandir with. I am sure that is the same for many of you. So immediately you get a stress relief. Immediately you become more peaceful. Immediately your mind begins remapping, rewiring. But the process takes a little while. So 13 minutes a day. Trayodashi vrat kare hamesha, tanana hitake rahe kalesha. Dhoop deep naived chadhave, Shankar sanmukh path sunave. 13 is very important for Shivji Bhagwan. I didn't even think about that before. But very important. So keep your 13 minutes, keep your challenge. If you're having difficulties in keeping the challenge for whatever reason, you need assistance, Panditji is around, I am around, give us a call, say whatever it is, I don't know what I'm doing. When I get into that, my mind, we will see what could be done. You have your gurus, let them help you along this path. It is an investment in yourself. Any thoughts, questions before we move on? So with those few words, I want to end. We have our Bhagavad Gita. We finished chapter 1. We've done a lot. We have a question.
My question is, the format that you're doing the meditation is focusing on
On a murti.
Does it have to be that, or can you use the 30 minutes where it could be doing the Gayatri mantra?
You could do.
or-
Okay, so let me tell you from my experience, right? When I do yoga, I do it with Gayatri mantra. And so meditation takes, if I take 20 minutes, it is all with Gayatri mantra. For every asana, that is meditation. Because you're focusing on the mantra. If you sit, yes, you can do it only on the Gayatri mantra or any mantra. Your guru mantra, most efficacious. Just the light. Why we choose a murti is that for many people it's difficult to just close your eyes and just see the light. So it's difficult. But if I say, look, he's got beautiful hands, he's got wonderful feet, that is Krishna Bhagwan, yes. And so we could picture those things and we pull ourselves closer to him or her, Durga Mata. But no, it's not absolutely necessary that you have just a murti. Whatever works for you, that you are able for 13 minutes, at the very least half an hour is best. Whatever that, it is silent time remapping yourself. So yeah, you don't need to. The Gayatri mantra is, and I'll tell you something, it works. And I will share this a little bit with you. I know it is 9:38, so I'll talk very quickly on this part. There was a time when I was writing my judgments, and I was having difficulties. And I find everything I write, they're appealing. They still do that, doesn't matter. That's a right that it comes about. But I wasn't happy with the writing. And I went into this sadhana for quite a while. And immediately you saw the quotient and all of these things manifesting. So what I'm saying to you is not theoretical. It is something that I have seen for myself. And how the thought process, so when people ask you how you're able to read and remember, it comes from these things, from these practices, from doing these things. So any other thoughts or questions or comments before we move on? 9:39, I know I always run in all the time. So Prem se bolo Shri Govind Krishna Bhagwan ki Jai. We'll have bhajans. While we're singing, we come up to do arti. Take your opportunities to pray and to become personalized with God always.
Jai Shiva, Jai Shiva, Jai Shiva, Jai Shiva, Shiva, Jai Shiva, Jai Shiva, Jai Shiva, Jai Shiva, Jai
जय भोला भंडारी शिव हर, जय भोला भंडारी, 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 जय कैलाशपति शिव शंकर, जय कैलाशपति शिव शंकर, सब जग के हितकारी, जय भोला भंडारी शिव हर, जय भोला भंडारी, इस दिन से ना ध्यान करें हम, सिमले मंत्र तिहारा, हे शिव शंकर मंत्र जगाओ, होवे घट उजियारा, नमामि शंकर नमामि शंकर, नमामि शंकर नमामि शंकर, कृपा करो त्रिपुरारी, जय भोला भंडारी शिव हर, जय भोला भंडारी, जय भोला भंडारी शिव हर, जय भोला भंडारी, शंखनाद से शब्द जगाकर स्वर संगीत बहाया, युग युग से ये सृष्टि नाता, ऐसा डमरू बजाया, तेरी याद भुला के जग में, तेरी याद भुला के जग में, दुख पावे संसारी, जय भोला भंडारी शिव हर, जय भोला भंडारी, जय भोला भंडारी शिव हर, जय भोला भंडारी, दीन का अपहरण कल में का, ये त्रिशूल तिहारा, तेरा नाम जपे से जग में, मिलता मुक्ति द्वारा, महादेव पर ब्रह्म विधाता, महादेव पर ब्रह्म विधाता, आए शरण तिहारी, जय भोला भंडारी शिव हर, जय भोला भंडारी, जय भोला भंडारी शिव हर, जय भोला भंडारी, जय कैलाशपति शिव शंकर, जय कैलाशपति शिव शंकर, सब जग के हितकारी, जय भोला भंडारी शिव हर, जय भोला भंडारी, जय भोला भंडारी असुरों को संहार के, असुरों को संहार के, जग के त्राण किया। ओम जय 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 महादेव। ओम जय 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 महादेव। रूप अलौकिक अनरगरीश्वर, तुम हो त्रिपुरारी, त्रिलोचन तुम हो त्रिपुरारी। शिव शंकर प्रलयंकर, शिव शंकर प्रलयंकर, तांडव गतिधारी। ओम जय 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 महादेव। ओम जय 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 महादेव। ओम जय 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 महादेव। ओम जय 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 महादेव।
प्रेम से बोलिए उमापति महादेव की जय। सबको जय सीताराम, जय सीताराम. Let me welcome each and every one of you this morning once more to our Mandir here. Those of you, and many of you are here with us this morning physically. Bhagwanji's blessings to you and your family. To those persons who are viewing us online, on Facebook or on YouTube, we extend a very special welcome to you as well this morning, wherever you may be viewing us. And Pandit Shankaran has always maintained that whenever we are viewing online, he is there steadfastly in India looking on. And Panditji, on behalf of all of the members here at the Mandir, we miss you and Auntie Ji, and we wish you all the very best in India where you are currently residing. This morning, we want to express our profound thanks to Panditji for his wonderful discourse and meditation, and indeed the challenge that has been thrown out to each and every one of us. You know, these devices are wonderful. There are so many things that can be done, but they are also quite a distraction and quite frankly, very often a waste of time. And our time that could be spent better poised, as Panditji has suggested, in improving ourselves by ourselves. So I hope that we all pick up that challenge, and come Ram Navami, the 30th of March, when we come together, we could say, yes, it has made a difference in our lives. So just be reminded of that challenge and to make the effort. It is difficult maybe in the first couple of days, but keep to it, stick to it, and indeed it will redound to our benefit. Those of you who wish to perform Puja or Hawan on a Sunday morning, you are asked to please give your names to Mrs. Rama Umrao or Mr. Gangadin Sinanan, and the necessary arrangements can be made. This morning we had Maureen sitting to perform Hawan, and so you and your family can sit on any Sunday morning once it is not booked, and you can perform your Hawan or your Puja together with your family. Wonderful experience indeed. Last Wednesday we observed Basant Panchami, and there were many families that sat together and performed Saraswati Mata Puja, and that was indeed a very wonderful experience for them as well on that marvelous occasion. As Panditji mentioned, we are observing Mahashivratri, and that will be on the 18th of February. It's a Saturday, and we look forward to seeing you all. Discussions have taken place, and what we have agreed, we will be performing puja starting from 6 p.m. on the Saturday evening. Then the second pahar will be at 9 p.m. again on Saturday night. The third pahar puja will be performed at 12 midnight. And then the final and fourth pahar puja will be at 3 a.m. and that would be on the Sunday morning. So you are invited to come to spend the night with us. As we know, many persons are spending the nights elsewhere right now in other activities. So it's a wonderful experience that you can come. We will have our own black to blue, and in a different way. Shankar Bhagwan Nilakant, that blue-throated one, so we can enjoy our experiences here as well with wonderful bhajan and kirtan puja and mantra japam. So we invite you to come if you want to spend the entire night. Security will be provided. There will be parking provided as well. And you can do that, or if not, because of small children, you can come from 6 p.m., perform your puja, do your offerings and so on. And then if you have to leave, you can. Similarly at 9, 12, or at 3. As a result of that, the Sunday morning service for that Sunday will be deferred, because it will be a bit of a challenge to have things organized for that. So we will not be having a formalized Sunday morning service on the morning of the 19th. All right, but that having been said, we look forward to seeing you all with us. There's a wonderful event upcoming, and that is a dinner that has been organized by the management committee on the 14th of February. It's a very special occasion for many people, a time when you take some moments to extend your love and gratitude to those persons who are significant in your lives, something we should be doing every day, but notwithstanding this special day. So we will be having a dinner. It will be a catered event, and we will be having wonderful entertainment by Sri Satnarayan Raghu, and you know him. He's a very wonderful melodious singer. And we are inviting those persons who have not yet purchased tickets to see Mrs. Renuka Maharaj. There are some tickets still available, and to come and share with us a wonderful evening right here at the Mandir in the annex, where we will have dinner and entertainment on the night of the 14th of February. And in case we don't know that, that's Valentine's Day. So we get the opportunity to come together on that occasion. So those of you who have not yet purchased tickets, please do so. Mrs. Renuka Maharaj would have some tickets still left, and you can purchase those tickets and patronize and come together with your spouse, loved ones, and so on. Regular classes this week, yoga classes will take place tomorrow, Monday, from 5:30 p.m., 5:30 to 7, right here at the annex. So you can please come if you are students, or if not and you'd like to join, you're most welcome. Balvihar classes continue every Sunday, and we urge parents and grandparents, guardians to bring your children out so that they can participate and take part in these wonderful classes. Dance classes and music classes, and as Anilji has said, Bhagavad Gita classes are all ongoing. So if you are interested for yourselves or your children, your grandchildren, please get them involved. Please let them take part, and that will benefit themselves and those and indeed your entire family. So we look forward to you participating in all of that. One final announcement, two really. I want to extend belated anniversary greetings to our chairman, Mr. Mandir Maharaj, and Mrs. Renuka Maharaj. They celebrated their 32nd wedding anniversary on last Friday, so we want to extend congratulations to them. Other persons who are celebrating their birthdays and anniversaries, Bhagwanji's blessings to you as well. Just by way of update, you know last October, I stood at that podium and said some things about what was going on next door in terms of the HDC proposed development and the land there and the land use of it. I have not provided a formal update, and I just want to do so very briefly this morning. The net result is our pleas to the state agencies have gone unanswered. They have refused to reconsider their request. Given the timelines that we were faced, we therefore were left with no alternative but to file an action before the High Courts of Trinidad and Tobago. That was filed on the 7th of December. The deadline would have been the 8th, so we gave them until the 12th hour to respond. They did not do that. So left with no alternative, and to protect the interests of ourselves, our children, our teachers, our parents in the surrounding school, the residents, and businesses, it was incumbent upon us, when I say us, I mean all of the stakeholders in the area, to file an action. That was done. And the Honorable Judge gave directions on the 4th of January for the matter to be heard, and it will be heard tomorrow. So the hearing of this matter takes place, and it's leave for judicial review of the decision that was taken by Cabinet to transfer those lands across the road to the HDC so that they can construct housing there. And I think anybody who knows the area and has any views that is reasonable would recognize that is a most untenable, illogical, and quite frankly, very poor decision to make. So the matter will be coming up for hearing, and we therefore ask you to pray for our legal team, to pray for the judge so that that judge will be guided in the proper manner, and indeed that the outcome will be for the benefit of indeed all of the community of San Fernando and all of the stakeholders of San Fernando and indeed this country. So we ask for your prayers tomorrow as this matter is heard from 11 tomorrow, and we will advise you as to the outcome. So that concludes our announcements this morning. Thank you all very much. Let us all stand now for final arati and closing prayer.
Om Jai Jagadish Hari Swami Jai Jagadish Hari Bhakt Jano ke sankat Das Jano ke sankat Janani dur kare Om Jai Jagadish Hari सबके स्वामी ओम जय जगदीश हरे करुणा के सागर तुम पालन करता स्वामी तुम पालन करता हम सेवक तुम स्वामी हम सेवक तुम स्वामी कृपा करो भरता ओम जय जगदीश हरे तुम हो एक अगोचर सबके प्राणपति स्वामी सबके प्राणपति किस विधि मिलो दया में किस विधि मिलो दया में तुम हो मैं तुम थी ओम जय जगदीश हरे दीन बंधु दुख हरता तुम रक्षक मेरे स्वामी तुम रक्षक मेरे अपने हाथ उठाओ अपने हाथ उठाओ द्वार पर तेरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी जय जगदीश हरे भक्त जनों के संकट दास जनों के संकट क्षण में दूर करे ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओम जय जगदीश हरे
Hari Om. As we conclude our puja and our satsang this morning, O Prabhu, we come before you in complete surrender. As children before that omniscient, most merciful, all divine being, we come before you. We seek your inspiration, your upliftment, your guidance, your forgiveness. We ask for blessings not only upon us, but indeed for all those around us. For those persons who are ill, those persons who are ailing, those persons who have lost a loved one, those persons who may be misdirected and on a deviant path. We ask for blessings upon them, that they would be restored once more, that they would be uplifted once more, that they would be redirected once more. For you are mother, you are father, you are family, you are friend, you are knowledge, you are wealth, you are everything to us. We join together. Hari Om. Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhu Cha Seka Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Sato Ma Sadgamayam Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamayam Mrityurama Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. प्रेम से बोले श्री गणेश भगवान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, आज शक्ति जगदम्बा देवी मैया की जय, श्री पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय। प्रेम से बोले श्री सच्चे सनातन धर्म की जय। Turn to those around you, सबको जय सीताराम, जय सीताराम, जय सीताराम। May Bhagwan bless us all. May we have a very powerful and productive week ahead. And we look forward to seeing you all with us again next Sunday from 8:30. Jai Sitaram all.
कैसे तुझसे दिल